Hi, loves. Welcome back to the Ziggy Zone. Today is a great day in professional sports. First, the Warriors will be taking on the San Antonio Spurs this evening, and there are two games. Any combinations of win or losses will seal the deal for the Warriors to take the number one spot. If not, the Spurs obviously still have a chance at winning. Plus, there's still a record, that they're going for, which at this point, because they lost to Minnesota, I just think they need to hang it up because losing to Minnesota, take a break, sit down, have a seat. But that enough of basketball. I'm really here to talk about drum roll, please. Dun-dun-dun-dun. There's no drum roll. It's opening day for the San Francisco Giants. Woohoo! For all of my baseball lovers out there, yes, the season has finally arrived. The weather is great. It is at nooner. Well, actually, the game is like at 1:30, I think. But, it's an afternoon game. So you won't freeze to death. Awesome. And to make this opening weekend homestand that much better, they are playing the Los Angeles Dodgers. Now, we know no one is really here for the Dodgers except for the people in LA. Which brings me to really the crux of this here video. I was thinking about the greatest rivalries in all of baseball, right? And I really feel like there are really only two legitimate rivalries. The first being the Yankees and the Red Sox. That rivalry, New Yorkers and Bostonians, I think to this day still don't like each other. That rivalry is totally legit, and it's funny. It's an interesting one, and I think that really what came out of that one is obviously, you talk about the curse of the Bambino when Boston sold or traded Babe Ruth to the New York Yankees, and for over 80 years, almost 90 years, Boston failed to win a World Series for that. So you talk about really two solid, quintessential baseball clubs with the Boston Red Sox and the New York Yankees, the epitome of American life, going at it for years, and then you add in the curse of the Bambino with that. It's easy to see why those two ball clubs, those two cities, why their fan bases really just have a strong dislike. We're not going to say hatred, but a strong dislike for one another. And obviously, both clubs are American League teams. But then I was thinking, there's always, city rivalries cross towns. You have the Cubs and the White Sox, and, New York has the Mets and the Yankees and things like that. But I feel like the only other rivalry that has really had a strong impact on the baseball world and its fan base is none other than the rivalry between the San Francisco Giants and the Los Angeles Dodgers. That rivalry is legit, and it's a current rivalry that is so strong. I remember, I guess it's been about 5 years now, when a Giants fan was down at Dodger Stadium, and what's his name, Brian Snow? I can't remember his name, but I think his first name was Brian. I mean, the guy was literally beat within an inch of his life, which is terrible and awful. But I mean, to think that people really support a ball club to such an extent that fans from another team can essentially die from it. And it's not to say that that was the only thing that happened, because a few 1 or 2 years ago at AT&T Park, I'm going to call it Pac Bell, but AT&T Park, Dodger fans were kind of beaten up by Giants fans. But I'm sure it wasn't that bad. If you can't tell, I'm a Giants fan, right? And so I'm but again, back to this Dodgers, Giants thing. It's really, and both teams came from New York. You would think that they would have a closer relationship. Both teams originated from New York. Both teams migrated to California. Obviously, it makes sense. No shade on New York. But then what really happens is that you have this undertone, which is something as a Californian, we always it's just the Northern California versus Southern California. and Northern California being better than Southern California. And it's unfortunate that Southern California really thinks that they are better than Northern California. And I don't get it. And it's so weird because, we have this California love, we have this California pride, but when it comes to our teams and our sports and, representing where we're from, people don't understand how divisive this whole NorCal, SoCal thing can be. And we all know that it's all about Northern California, specifically the Bay Area. And if you really want to get into it, it's all about the city. However, when we leave state, we sort of do just California's California, right? I have friends from LA. It's not a big deal unless we're just talking about what part of California is better. And then we'll all agree that it's Northern California. So I'm really excited. It's opening weekend. The Giants are playing the Dodgers. The Giants are 2-1, so they didn't get a sweep over Milwaukee yesterday, but they did win the first two games, so they're 2-1 to start the season. I don't know what the Dodgers are doing. No one really cares about the Dodgers unless you're like in LA, and the people in LA probably only halfway care because they're probably like getting Botox and collagen. So we're really excited. Opening weekend, baseball. The Giants, we are going to say, will win the series. We're also going to say that of the last couple of games, the Warriors take on the Spurs, and hopefully they will win one of these two last games as well. So until next time, ciao.